Well, it is that time of the program where we put your questions directly to a team of doctors. Tonight, we've got infectious disease specialists Dr. Lenora Saxinger and Dr. Isaac Bogosh. Hello to the two of you. Dr. Bogosh, we'll start with you. And granted, this first question does get a little bit into the weeds, but here it is. When you come home and you wash your hands, you turn on the faucet first. Then once you've finished washing your hands, you're touching that same dirty faucet. Are you recontaminating your hands this way?
You know, I think in situations like this, we have to draw the line somewhere. And you're doing a great job by washing your hands with soap and water. Of course, you have to turn that faucet off. In a perfect world, these would be automated, but that's clearly not available everywhere. So I think we just have to draw the line, wash our hands with soap and water, turn off the tap, dry our hands, and move on with our lives.
I actually would add one thing, which is when you're looking at how faucets are designed, a lot of them actually, if you can turn off with another part of your forearm or your elbow. And if that's a possibility, you can avoid the recontamination of your hands. And I might be on the kind of more OCD part of the spectrum, but I actually do wipe down faucet handles and doorknobs and other high-touch surfaces a little bit more frequently now. And I include doing that when people are ill in the house.
Okay, good to know. Next question, Dr. Saxinger. Can I safely cook or bake food for friends? Does the heat involved kill the virus?
I think that heat aside, that it's generally felt that food is not usually a vehicle of transmission of this virus. And so you really get it from an infected person in a much more direct way or from surfaces that they've touched. And so to me, the more important question is, how are you packaging that? What type of packaging is it? How clean is the packaging? And serving utensils are often a consideration too. You don't want to have shared serving utensils, so to me, it's all about the plating and the handling of the packaging, not the food itself. And so it should be something that people can deal with.
Okay. Dr. Bogosh, next question for you. I'm trying to self-isolate, but I live with an elderly parent who needs my help. How do I care for them?
Yeah, this is a very challenging situation because clearly we know that the elderly are certainly prone to having more serious infection. But of course, we know people are in the situation where they have to care for an elderly relative as well. And everything should be done to ensure that this individual does not get infected and bring this infection back home and infect their elderly relative. So that means impeccable hand hygiene and also being very mindful if this individual ever comes down with any symptoms whatsoever, they should certainly avoid all contact with their elderly relative and find other people or other mechanisms to help that elderly relative out, because we have to do everything possible to prevent them from getting this infection.
Similar sort of a question, Dr. Saxinger. I'm dating someone. Are we really expected to act like we're in a long-distance relationship until this all blows over?
I guess this actually kind of forces relationship dynamics a bit, because I think most of us accept that if you're in like a household and you define yourself as a household unit, you treat that unit as a kind of standalone when you think about how to interact with others, and you try not to go outside that unit. So if you consider yourself a unit, a household unit, then I think it's reasonable. And if you are not at that stage yet, I think that you should continue to socially distance. And that's a difficult time.
Time for one more quick one, Dr. Bogosh. Easter and Passover are coming soon, and families are planning get-togethers. If we self-isolate and social distance ahead of time, is there a safe way we can meet up?
This is also a challenging situation because I appreciate that these are special holidays and these are times where families would normally gather together and many people would get together under one roof. But I really think we're in an extraordinary time, and I think this year the only people who should be getting together are the people who live under the same roof. So this is not the time to be inviting other family members or other people over to your house for example, the Passover Seder or the big dinner for these holidays. I think it should only be restricted to people who live under the same roof together.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Dr. Bogosh, Dr. Saxinger, thanks so much for your time.